Good morning, Liberty North. I am Brock Baldridge.
And I'm Jordan Vega.
And well, last week we had Liberty North host the Liberty North Invitational with a total of 16 teams around the Kansas City metro area. And me and Jordan have a full recap of how the week went. It was a great week of high school basketball, Jordan.
That's right. It's been a fantastic week of great high school basketball. So let's get right on to it. Monday night, we had the first round of the women's bracket. Smithville beating Liberty, Raytown beating Kearney, Liberty beating Smithville, and St. Joe Central beating St. Pius. And the MVP of that night was Emma Couch for Kearney.
Definitely deserved it. Emma Couch was a very talented player. Kearney's going to use her all year long. She scored a lot of points, and she's basically their scorer, Jordan. It's the power forward position. She passes the ball well. I mean, Kearney's just a really good team, and they're going to be tough to stop later in the year, Jordan.
Absolutely. Emma Couch is one of those players that doesn't mind, having a hand in her face when she shoots her shots, and she's definitely very consistent from the field and doing really well, and definitely going to be a great weapon for the Kearney's women's team.
Oh, definitely. Now let's go on to Tuesday night as we had the first round of the men's game. We had St. Joe Central beating Kearney in a big game there, and then we had St. Pius losing to a very talented Park Hill team, and we'll get to them later, Jordan, as we also had Shawnee Mission North beating Ray Peck, and Shawnee Mission North, the 6A state champions of Kansas, and we had Liberty North beating Northeast, and they scored 71 points as Liberty North won 71-57, and our tournament MVP of that night was Tyson Cathy. He was great. I mean, passed the ball well, who scored 14 points with 5 assists, and took really good shot selections, Jordan.
Absolutely. He was doing very well. He's an underclassman with a lot of skill and a lot of future potential for this team as well. He played very consistent, not afraid of these, big seniors that he's playing up against, and he's doing really well, and I'm excited to see what else he can bring to the table for Liberty North.
I mean, he's going to be great in the long run for this team. He's going to really help them get through the playoffs, and we'll see how far this Liberty North team can go, as he'll definitely be a key factor for their season, Jordan.
Absolutely. On Wednesday night, Lincoln Prep beat Kearney 45-35, while Smithville beat St. Joe Central 49-30. On the winner side of the bracket, and on the consolation side, Liberty North blew out Raytown 45-25, and St. Pius took out a big win, defeating Liberty 35-31. The MVP of that night was St. Pius's number 3, Abby Hitt, who was a key contributor to that win. She scored 15 points and was really good inside the paint. She's going to be a key piece for St. Pius's offense throughout the year, Brock.
Oh, she definitely is. I mean, Abby Hitt, she's the big person down low, getting the rebounds and putting them back up for the boards. I mean, she's a great rebounder, and she's great scoring inside the paint, and that's really key when you talk about girls basketball. I mean, if you can score inside the paint, then you can stop anyone, Jordan. I mean,
absolutely.
Great.
She just has a physical presence on the court. She's so strong. She can just back up the other girls and just hook shot them all day, Brock.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And that's all she needs to do.
Yeah, yes, definitely. Now off to a Thursday night where Park Hill beat a very good and tough St. Joe Central team who put up a good effort but fell short, losing 59-53. And speaking of St. Joe Central, congratulations to Matt Austin, who scored his 1,000th point on Friday in the third-place game in the Fieldhouse. What an outstanding milestone this was for this young man, Jordan.
Absolutely, Matt Austin. He's definitely a killer. I mean, he's the guy that can score from any level on the court, and he definitely pushed that St. Joe Central team to the limit, and unfortunately, the best that they could place was third place.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So Thursday night, which was a big game for Liberty North as they beat the Shawnee Mission North Indians in overtime, the 6A state champions of Kansas, with a score of 63-56. Now, Shawnee Mission North's Danny Bradley was absolutely terrific throughout that game, but Liberty North had Robbie Hansen, who just had a monster game. He could not miss from the field. This guy was spectacular all night long, Jordan.
Absolutely. Robbie Hansen was definitely the person that kept Liberty North in this game. I covered it on Thursday night, and Danny Bradley, along with the rest of the Shawnee Mission team, they played very well. They're actually beating Liberty North for a majority of this game, and thanks to Robbie Hansen and a handful of other Liberty North players, they were to come back, force overtime, and then just get that win, man.
And
awesome.
the MVP of that night was certainly Robbie Hansen, who scored 21 points with 4 3-pointers and was almost perfect from the field there.
That's right.
Now let's go over the Friday, George. You want to talk the women's championship game, big game there.
Lincoln Prep played Smithville and beat them in the last few seconds of the game. It all came down to one free throw, with Lincoln Prep winning 42-38. Congratulations to Lincoln Prep winning the women's Liberty North Invitational, and the women's St. Joe Central beat Kearney on a buzzer beater, clinching third and second place finish along with their boys team. Also, the women consolation bracket, 5th place was St. Pius 52, North 34. 7th place was Liberty 51 versus Raytown.
was 32. And then we'll go on to the men's consolation games. We had Northeast beating St. Pius 51-49. And the 7th place game, we had Kearney beat Ray Peck by a buzzer beater 41-38. Now, it was an outstanding performance, Jordan, and very entertaining championship game for the men's bracket.
Absolutely. You know, Liberty North just fell short against Park Hill in that final matchup. The final score was 62-49 in Park Hill, man. Man, they were just really good. Liberty North tried to get a comeback rolling, but they just couldn't execute their shots late in the game.
Late in the game, obviously, as you said. I mean, Liberty North, they had a great game, but it was a tough loss for them to swallow, Jordan.
Absolutely.
As Park Hill, who certainly earned the championship, I mean, congratulations to them. And the MVP of that night was Chester Graves. I mean, he was outstanding. He scored 20 points in the game before that, the night before, and he scored 20 points on the championship game. That's incredible, Jordan, to do that in a high school basketball game.
Yeah, Chester Graves, when I covered him on Thursday night, he was all over the place, and I saw his highlights from Friday night, and this guy, he's just scoring from everywhere. He's doing really well, and but unfortunately, you know, he didn't get the overall MVP.
Yeah.
That title belonged to the overall leader of the Park Hill team,
Ronnie Bell.
Ronnie Bell. You know, he was just an awesome, dynamic player, and I mean, really just the cherry on top of a really talented Park Hill team for sure.
I mean, he really was. Ronnie Bell was the overall tournament MVP. He's a really big scorer, big-time scorer. Scored 17 the night before. Scored a lot of three-pointers in his game for the championship game. I mean, he certainly earned it as Ronnie Bell. He's a great defender down low in the paint. He can defend every position on the floor. I mean, very quick. This is a very athletic Park Hill team, and they're going to be great in the future, Jordan, as you could start seeing state titles coming their way.
Absolutely.
With athleticism that they have.
For
I mean,
sure.
it was a great tournament, Jordan. Great basketball all around. I mean, I was very impressed by the teams, and we want to wish all the teams good luck in the future and for the rest of their season. And for now, I'm Brock Baldridge.
I'm Jordan Vega.
And this is North Nation Sports.